Why do you think mental health is viewed as such a bad stigma in the black community?
But once again, we can say it can be a learned behavior. You know, growing up, how many of you got told, don't tell them what's going on in his house. Don't talk to nobody outside his house what's going on here. So that's one of the first things that always come to my mind. And then secondly, as me being a black male, I know for me, talking about what's going on emotionally or mentally was, because at the time it seemed to be weak before I knew that. You know, it's not something to talk about. You get over it, put a little dirt on no matter what your emotions are, you get over it. So to go out and try to seek assistance and help was something that seemed to me that was, even when I got in the Marine Corps, they're like, oh, we'll talk to someone. I'm like, that's not what I need to do. That's what we people do. It's this perception that we have when it comes to, you talk to someone, you must be crazy. And so I think it also comes from a lot of times in our communities, we get overdiagnosed. You know, people think you have to be diagnosed to go talk to someone. If I want to talk to you about my emotional instability, I might be getting upset, I think I'm gonna walk in your office, and you're gonna diagnose me with something and put me on medication. That's a distrust. So now I was getting out to re-educate people. That's one of my main goals, to go out and educate. To get our communities more comfortable with going and speak with mental health professionals. First, a lot of us don't know what we do. A lot of people don't know what mental health professionals do at all. A lot of people come out, so what do you do? Are you a psychologist? We do similar things as psychologists. I just don't prescribe medication. You come in, I can guarantee you and I are going to try to work through whatever your diagnosis may be, if it's a diagnosis or if it's just a life event that we need to work through. I don't even have the qualification of prescribing medication, so that's the last thing on my mind. My thing is to partner with you to get you healing in your state of being at that time. So we have to go out and just educate our community on that. That's one of the biggest things. Because even now, my mother, to this day, my little sister was crying. And my sister told she wanted to see somebody. She's like, you ain't crazy, you don't need to see nobody. You know, literally, this is like a month ago. So this is still persistence in our community at this time.
I just wanted to add also the fact of just always feeling less than what you said, or that you're not capable, or you're not this strong woman or a strong man. And there are so many times when we are afraid that, again, the diagnosis alone could hurt us, or it can get out to someone. What happens if someone recognizes this? And I just read a little bit about this today with Mariah Carey, who just recently came out that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in the early 2000s, but she kept it really quiet because she actually said, I kept it so quiet because I was afraid of what if someone finds out. And so anytime you're a strong woman, and you know, our single mothers and our strong successful women and strong men, successful men, anytime you know that there's a possibility of having a label on you, you already are resistant to that label. And I remember personally that I was going through grad school and I had a supervisor who was overseeing a lot of my clinical internship, and she came one day to sit down with me, and I took all of my files out, and she said, how are you, Shantae? And I said, I'm fine. And I immediately began to tell her about my clients. She tapped me, she said, Shantae, I said, how are you? Now, she happened to also be a pastor, and I was running the New Image Youth Center at the time on my own. I was working at night, and I was a grad student. But when she tapped me and said, the second time, Shantae, how are you? I just bust out crying. And I didn't even know myself that I was so full because I was the strong black woman. I had this under control, and I didn't need anyone to know that I was under pressure with what I was going through. And I tell that story all the time because it was because of that that I began to seek counseling, and I recognized that my asthma attacks I was having, there was actually panic attacks. And so those panic attacks, I hadn't had asthma since I was a child, but in my mind I was developing asthma again because truly I didn't want the stigma of having panic attacks as a student who was becoming a counselor. So again, just those labels, a lot of people are afraid of those labels. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be very candid with you. When you are receiving services through Medicaid, there are only certain diagnoses that are billable, and when that happens, this is the God honest truth, when that happens, a lot of times I sit my clients down and we go over that diagnosis to say, this does not mean that this is what you have, but you do have symptoms of it. I even go to the extent of breaking it down so that they understand if you have at least 3 or more in this category, then this diagnosis may fit to you. And then the last thing is the fact of the African American community thinking that they know what counseling is, or know what it's going to detail. So here's the funnest thing for me. Remember, I work for kids, I'm very creative. There are times when we have had group therapy and the kids hadn't even recognized that they were in group therapy. Why? Because I have inserted so many games, I've inserted so many things into it that before they're knowing, they're expressing themselves, they're talking about coping skills, and just recently we identified 99 coping skills that we can use to reduce anxiety.